Hi, and welcome to our weekly House Church Shepherd's Bible study. This week, we will learn about another miracle Jesus performed in raising the dead, Lazarus. Bible passage, John 11, 1-44. Memory verse, nothing will be impossible with God. Luke 1:37. Lazarus was a good friend of Jesus. They lived in Bethany, and one day he became sick. The two sisters, Martha and Mary, was afraid that he would die. So they sent a message to Jesus that Lazarus was very sick. When Jesus heard the news, he said that God would be glorified by what will be happening. When Jesus heard that his good friend Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was for 2 more days. By the time Jesus arrived in Bethany, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. Martha and Mary were so sad, they were crying for days and days. Martha ran to Jesus and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." But Martha knew that even now, God can and will give what Jesus asked for. Jesus then said to her, "Your brother will live." Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life." Jesus went to the place where they had buried Lazarus. The grave was a cave with a stone in front of the entrance. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha worried that the body would smell decay since Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. But people obeyed and rolled the stone away from the door. Jesus then prayed to thank God and said, "Lazarus, come out." As soon as Jesus said this, Lazarus walked out of the tomb alive. He still had the burial clothes wrapped around him. Jesus made Lazarus come back alive just by speaking the words. Jesus has power over death. Lazarus, Martha, and Mary, and all his friends went to their home again, and he lived with them as he had before. Nothing is impossible. But sometimes people ask, why didn't Jesus go right away to Lazarus? Instead, he waited for 2 days. The Bible tells us that Jesus waited longer because he knew Lazarus would not die and that his death would bring glory to God. Sometimes God waits to answer your prayer until the time is right for you. Never think that God is ignoring you, because he never does. Sharing. How does God answer your prayers? Sometimes he waits, and sometimes he answers your prayer right away.